Welcome back. This is the IRS Radio Hour on AM 560, The Answer. And I am your host. I am attorney Stephen Leahy.
And I am your co-host, Jim Leahy.
That's right. And we are joined today by our special guest, Jim Morici.
Hey, guys. Great to be back here.
I caught him off guard.
Let's jump into the next segment.
And now, here's that man with a head just crammed full of knowledge, Mr. Know-It-All.
That is right. It is the Mr. Know-It-All segment, ladies and gentlemen, where we are not going to ask Stephen Leahy anything. We're done asking him questions. We've heard it all.
It's still my show.
It's time to ask Jim Morici. And the question that I have is, look, I'm a young guy, all right? I don't have any idea. As I've said earlier in the show, how do I know if I get hurt? How do I know what my case is worth? Is it really, worth giving you a call? What do I know the value of that case?
Well, the value of any particular personal injury case depends on several different factors. And to be honest with you, can we tell you right off the get-go what your case is worth? The answer is probably not. I mean, maybe like in some wide parameters. But until we know, the extent of your medical injuries, oftentimes our clients call us because they're in a hospital or their loved ones in an emergency room or in surgery. And, how's the surgery going to come out? What are the disabilities going to be? How long is the injured person going to be off of work? What's this going to mean to their life? What future care are they going to need? I mean, these are all questions that I need to know before I can give, a client a straight answer. And I try to give people straight answers. But sometimes the answer is, well, we have to see. Now, I do talk about parameters. And, if I've had almost 35 years of experience in this business, so I have a good idea. But there's several factors go
in my own practice. I got to tell you, when people come to see me, they say, if someone tells you how they're going to solve your problem before they know what the problem is, they're probably not telling you the truth.
That's exactly right. A personal injury matter has three components. You have to have a significant enough injury to make a recovery. You have to have it has to be somebody else's fault other than your own. That's liability. And third, there has to be a fund or somewhere to collect it from. Now, in our society, and for the last 100 or years or so, we have spread risk around. We don't take people who have been hurt and injured and can't work anymore and put them in the poor people's house or throw them on the scrap heap. We have a system that came from common law England of spreading that responsibility, spreading that risk society-wide, so that people who are unfortunate enough to be seriously hurt don't have to bear the entire burden. There is an insurance system, and most people are covered by insurance that is there for people to be compensated by. And we try to see that our clients get fair and reasonable compensation.
That's very refreshing to know. That's very refreshing to know, especially from like a younger standpoint, because because I've been in jobs before where I've been doing some strenuous activities, and you just start thinking to yourself, oh my, what if I get hurt? I have no safety net. But
and that's unique. I mean, to think, gee, what if I get hurt? Most people don't do that. I mean, I kind of sarcastically, maybe not sarcastically, kind of comically say, my clients need me by accident. I mean, nobody, if I've got tax problems or I'm running a business, I need a business lawyer or I need a tax lawyer. If I buy and sell real estate, I've got a real estate lawyer. If I've got lots of money and I need a estate lawyer, a trust lawyer, I have somebody like that, maybe on retainer. But who has a personal injury lawyer on retainer? Nobody, because who's going to have an accident, who's going to be seriously injured at work is like, trying to pick out where lightning is going to strike. You can't do it.
We're running out of time, but I wanted to also touch on your workers' comp practice, because I know your firm also helps people who are hurt on the job with their employer. Isn't that right?
Absolutely. Yeah. If you're hurt at work,
because you can't sue your employer.
No. Well, and everybody talks about, and I know your beloved governor talks about, wanting to dismantle the workers' comp system and this and that. But you know what? You know who the biggest beneficiary of the workers' compensation system is? It's the big corporations. Because without the workers' compensation system, they could be held responsible for hurting their employees.
That's right.
And I've had dozens and dozens of clients over the years who the main culprit in causing an injury, whether it's on a construction site or in a plant, dangerous chemicals people work with, old machines that the guards have been taken off of and people are losing hands or arms. All of that mostly or substantially is the fault of the employer. Mm-hmm. But the Workers' Comp Act, while certain people like to badmouth it, one of the things that it contains is what's called the exclusivity of remedies provision. That's a big long term that means that's the only game in town against your employer.
So you can't sue your employer.
You cannot sue your employer. And so, your only remedy is workers' compensation, and your only benefits under workers' comp is, they pay your medical bills. They pay you your salary while you're off and you can't work.
That's right.
And then whatever ongoing permanent disability you have, they give you a bit of compensation for that. So the workers' comp system gets that's maybe a subject for another show, but it gets a bad rap, and but it's there to help, and we're there to help your clients, your listeners. Morici Figlioli, 312-372-9600. Workers' comp and personal injury.
I hope that answers your question.
Thank you, Mr. Know-It-All.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Know-It-All. Ladies and gentlemen, again, Jim Morici of, please say your...
Morici Figlioli and Associates.